Good
recorded.
morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and start. Today, today we will focus. Today we will focus LangChain structured output. Today we will focus, or we will discuss LangChain structured output. This is also called as tool strategy, tool strategy, and provider strategy. Tool strategy and provider strategy. So that means we can create LangChain or we can create structured output using tool strategy and a provider strategy. It has its own purpose. Tool strategy has its own purpose and a provider strategy also has its own purpose. Today we will be discussing mainly on LangChain structured output, how to get the structured output by using tool strategy, by using provider strategy. These are the two strategies basically. All right. What is the meaning of structured output? What is the meaning of structured output? If you see, we have written this kind of application, right? We created the agent. How did we create the agent? We imported the necessary libraries and we are using chart OpenAI and created the object of it or initialize the model, initialize the LLM. These are the common steps we have done in all the agents. Okay. Once that is done, we created an agent by passing the model and we are trying to invoke the model by passing user prompt. Now, if you execute this, we got the answer. But here it's like a free text example or free text output. So if you see the content here, it's like a free text. Let me print only the content. Print response.content. It's kind of a free text. It's not like a response.content, right? It's not a structured output. It's a free text. Okay, you can just say printf, that's it, or printer, you can see. 1 second. We can take it out, this not required. We can just print this. So in that messages, it's a human message and it has all. Or you can simply print this response. You can also see here. So just execute this. This is the program, this is the application, this is the agent we have run many times. So I just displayed the response. Now if you see the response, in the response we have the content. That content, whatever if you observe, it's like a free text. It's not a structured output. It's not a structured output. So now the question is how to make this as structured output. Okay, how to make this as structured output. Whatever we are seeing below, is a free text example scenario. It's a free text. There is no structure for it. It's not like a JSON. It's not like a XML. It's not like a Pydantic, like that. So if you want a structured output, then we can go with the tool strategy and provider strategy. Then what this structured output will do, what this provider strategies will do or structured output will do, it will force LLM, means model. We'll try to do the exercises on this. What I am trying to say is that if you see the examples, whatever we have written till now, that is written in kind of a free text. Output is like a free text. We just ask the question and it is responding. That response is like a free text, not like a structured output. Now, what this structured output will do? Structured output forces LLM model to response into a strict format. Strict format. Right now, the response is like a free text. That is what the example we have seen. I just ran the previous example, previous AI application. That is like a free text only. Now, what is the structured output? What it will give? It forces LLM, means model, to respond into a strict format. What is that format? Strict format means what? What is that format? Strict format means, okay, written like a JSON or written like a schema. Schema. So schema means like a pedantic model. We we have completed this kind of exercises, but we are seeing one more time. So therefore, it forces the model to respond or provide the response into a strict format like a JSON format, pedantic format instead of free text. Okay, instead of free text. Free text means just now I shown you. We don't want free text. Instead of free text, ask the LLM, ask the model to give the required structure like a JSON structure, schema structure, and so on, so on. So we don't want free text. We don't want free text. By default, it's a free text. We don't want free text. We want structured output, which is can be a JSON, which can be a kind of schema. Schema means pedantic model. For that, LangChain provides, okay, for this, LangChain provides or supports, okay, two ways. For this, LangChain supports two ways. First one is tool strategy and second one is provider strategy. Second one is provider strategy. Tool strategy and provider strategy. Tool strategy. The meaning of the tool is we already know. In case of AI application development or agent development, we write many tools, right? Therefore, a strategy defined for tools is a tool strategy. So therefore, if you see what is the meaning of tool strategy? Uses tool or function calling to enforce, okay, enforce structure data. So that means we write the tools as part of the AI development, means agent development. We use the tools, right? We have written so many tools so far. Tools are nothing but functions. For that, you want structured output. Okay, for that you want structured output, then go with the tool strategy. Then model also provides the output, right? Just now you see, model is also providing the output. If model is providing the output, then you want that in a structured way. You want that in the structured way, then go with the provider strategy. Then go with the provider strategy. Then go with the provider strategy. So therefore, provider strategy uses model providers native structured output. What does that mean? We will see in the examples. For now, in a simple word, tool strategy is for the functions, provider strategy is for the models. That's it. Tool strategy is for the tools, functions, provider strategy is for models. That's it. Next, if you understand this, okay, tool strategy, right? Let me show you the notes for this. In the notes itself, we can see some of the differences between tool strategy and provider strategy. Then we can see the exercises so that we can understand more. If we come to the notes, this is what we are discussing. Tool strategy, provider strategy, which are used for structured output. What is the meaning of structured output? Okay, so if you see here, whenever we run the agent, it is giving some output. It is like a free text output. We don't want this free text output. We want structured output. What is the meaning of structured output? Structured output is forces the LLM or force the LLM to respond as per your format. What is that format? A JSON format or schema format instead of a free text. instead of a free text. Schema format means pedantic model. For that, LangChain supports two ways. First one is tool strategy, second one is provider strategy. Tool strategy is applied for the tools or functions. Provider strategy is applied for the models. How? We will see. Okay, this is the differences. Tool strategy versus provider strategy. As I told, tool strategy mainly returns structured output for the tools or via tools or functions. Provider strategy, okay, provider strategy. Here, LLM returns means model returns structured output via tools. Model returns structured output via, okay, provider's native structured output. What does that mean? We will see in the examples. So here, schema enforced through tools. Here, through provider. So here, here we will have a tool calls. Here we have a JSON output. In a simple word, tool strategy, if you are a Java person, tool strategy is like a function calling, returning a DTO. Function calling, returning a DTO. If you are a Java person, you can visualize like that. Then provider strategy, if you are a Java person, you can visualize provider strategies like a JSON serialization with a schema validation. JSON serialization with schema validation. That's how you can visualize if you are a Java person, provider strategy. If you are a Java person, you can visualize tool strategy as function calling and returning a DTO. So then you can see the purposes. Next, we just see the free text model, right? We just see the free text model, free text output. So in case of this example, you can see we have done the imports. Then we have taken the chart OpenAI and we created or we initialized the model. After that we created an agent and invoked it. Once we create the agent and invoke, then you can see we got some response. That response is kind of a free text. Now I don't want free text. I want to apply the tool strategy. Okay, let's apply the tool strategy. Example of tool strategy or coding example of tool strategy. Example for tool strategy. Instead of modifying this example, you can visualize this is like a free text example. I will just copy this and paste in the new cell and try to modify it so that you can see the exact modification, exact difference. Anyway, these imports are required. That means loading environment variables. Okay, necessary imports, these are required. And initialize the model is also required. So till line number 11, it's required. Okay. Now you want to use a tool strategy, right? So therefore, before I create agent, I will define structured output models. So that means how I want output model. So this is the tool strategy example, right? So for tool strategy, I will define a structured output. How I want the output, I will define structured output model. So that means you can define how you want the output or in what structure you want. For that, I will just say class and let's say Chenna. I will just write a contact information, and it requires base model. So those you can import it. base model and all, you can import it. Okay, let's write some more imports from Pydantic. From Pydantic import base model. We have seen this base model before also. Okay, then so we want to use tool strategy and provider strategy, right? Those you can import from LangChain because those are provided by LangChain. So LangChain dot agents dot structured output we can get through tool strategy, comma, and a provider strategy. Right now tool strategy I want, provider strategy we'll see next. Right now tool strategy I want, provider strategy we'll see next. So therefore now come here, I just pasted the previous code, which is a free text code, free text output code. Now I am trying to make this as, I am trying to adjust that code to apply the tool strategy. For that, I am trying to define the structured output model for tool strategy. For that, create one class called contact info. Then specify what all you need. Let's say I need a name, okay, which can be a string. Then I need email, which can be string, and I need a phone number, which can be string. Then third one, I need a company information. But I want this can be optional. Contact information. Name is required, email is required, phone number is required. Company information, I want to make it as optional. How do I make this particular field as optional? You have one more type. Okay, from typing import optional. So if you use optional, if you are not entering this particular field, it is okay. So therefore optional string, and you can also say none. Like this, I define the structure, contact information structure. How do I define the contact information structure? I just a class contact info, then this is a colon, not a bracket. Then this contact information is having 4 entries, 4 fields: name, email, phone number, and a company. Company, I want to make it as optional. This is how you can do it. That's it. This is how you can do it. This is the first change. I want to use the tool strategy. So using tool strategy, let's see how can we have structured output. For that, I just created a contact information, which is having four fields: name, email, phone number, and company. Company, I want to make it as optional. Even though it is not entered, we can continue like that. For that, I just created high level this way. That's it. Next, we are trying to create the agent, right? For that agent, you can pass the formatted structure. Response format. There is a response format while creating the agent. Then specify which format you want. So I want to have a tool strategy format. How that tool strategy format? Like a contact information. This is how you can pass it. Okay, can you see this one more time, please? The first example, whatever we have run, that's like a free text. Now we are trying to understand tool strategy. Tool strategy is applied for tools. Okay, for that, what the first change we have done? I just created a structured output. I want structured output like this. For the structured output for contact information like this, which will have a name, email, phone number, company. Company is optional. That is how I want the structured output. So therefore, I just created structured output model that I am passing for tool strategy. That I am passing while creating the agent. That I am passing while creating the agent. That's it. Now agent got created. Display the agent. If you want, you can display it. Otherwise, we don't need. So for now, display the agent means it will give the structure, and we have seen that. Now invoke the agent. When you invoke the agent, you can specify the message means prompt. You can specify the message means prompt, which is a user, role is a user, and content. Can you see how I am passing the content now? Can you see how I am passing the content now? Okay. Extract contact information info from ChennaRRRS, comma RRRS at gmail.com, comma. Then I am just specifying the phone number. Okay. 123 space 45 hyphen 7890. Okay, comma RRRS company. Like this, I am passing the, like this, I am creating the prompt. So if you see, my prompt is like a extra, this is the prompt. Extract the contact information. Okay, ChennaRRRS, email, phone number, company, like that. I just pass like that. Okay, then display that information. Display that information. Let's see what happens. Let's run this and see the results. So we are good. Let's run this and see. No errors, we are good. Now if you observe this, this is the user prompt. Okay, this is the user prompt. Then AI, it sent to the model. It sent to the model, right? Now if you see, the model is returning this response. Now let's take this and put in the notepad and see. Model is returning this content. And if you observe this content, so on, so, and do this, and look at this tool calls. Look at these tool calls. Okay, look at these tool calls. In that, there is a contact info and name you can see, email you can see, phone number you can see, company you can see. That is how it is mapped. Okay, actually the user prompt is like this. User prompt is like this. This user prompt is extracted into my contact information format. My contact information format. That's called a tool call. Tool calls. Now, am I having a structured response right now? Yes, right. Name, email ID, phone number, company, like that. Am I having a structured output? Yes. Am I having a structured output? Answer is yes. Now you can see the next message is tool message. If I take the tool message and put it in the notepad, so you can see tool message. Return structured response. Name equal to Chenna, email equal to this one, phone number equal to this one, this one. Like this, you have everything in a structured format. Like this, you have everything in the structured format. So that's why tool strategy is used for functions or tools. Now, this is the one going to the model again. So now finally, you can see structured response. Now finally, you can see the structured response. Okay, structured response. Now you can see contact information with these contact information with this. That's it. That's it. So therefore, in a simple word, I just pass the prompt as plain. Now model LLM is trying to map to my required structure. LLM map all those things to my required structure. That is called tool strategy. That is called a tool strategy. That's it. That's it. Now let's try to play. Okay, now you understand what is the meaning of tool strategy, right? So if you see tool strategy is applied for the tools or functions. Provider strategy for models. Models we'll see again. Okay, so therefore, how I want my structure, that you can define first. Then pass the prompt. This is how I pass the prompt. If I pass the prompt like this, then you can see clearly this is how you are getting the structured response. This is how you are getting the structured response. This is how you're getting the structured response, where you can say name equal to this, email ID equal to this, phone number. I did not tell name is this, phone number is this, company is this. I did not tell. Then how it happened? The model is creating. The model is creating structured output for your tool based on what we defined. Now let's play with this. Now see the, okay, so extract, okay, contact information. So can you see this one, please? I am just putting email ID first, then, okay, email ID first, then phone number, then name, then company. Now let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. I just ran this. Now see the structured output, please. Now see the structured output. Is it still doing good? Okay, so contact information, name ChennaRRRS, email ID is correct, phone number is correct. See, that is the biggest advantage with these structured outputs. That is the biggest advantage with the structured output. Whatever you write, it mapped based on the tool strategy and defined by a tool strategy maps all the information from this prompt to this particular format defined. You can change however you want. So let's say email ID, phone number is the second one. Then, so now I am not passing the company. Okay, I am not passing the company because company is optional, right? Let's see what happens. If I run this, okay, if I run this, you can see the structured output, please. So I am not passing the company. So still name is there, email ID is there, phone number is there, email ID is there, phone number is there, and company is not passed. If it is not passed, then it's a optional, and this is a value. That's why you have none. That's why you have the none. Now let's say I don't pass the phone number. Okay, can you see this one, please? I don't pass the phone number. These are all the combinations. What is the first combination? Okay, if the prompt is like this, first combination is if the prompt, everything is passed. So if you want, let me reset this once. Okay, if I pass like this, company. Okay, so if I pass like this is a scenario, first scenario, right? Let's write it. Scenario 1. If this is like this, then structured output is correct. Okay, structured output is correct. Okay, so there is a name, email ID, all those things, and this one. Now I will change the name to, instead of if this all this in the same order, I'll change the order to like this. I changed the order like this. Even though you change the order like this, the tool strategy with the help of model can generate the structured output again. This is the power of this tool strategies. You can see again this is correct. Name, email ID, phone number, company. Now the next thing is that if you see company is optional here. So therefore I don't need to pass. Let me remove it. Then see what happens. Okay, see what happens. I just ran it and this is what my prompt. I just ran it, case 3, and this is what my prompt. If this is the prompt, now see the structured output. Okay, structured output. So you can see name is there, email ID is there, phone number is there. Company is optional, and I mentioned here none. So that's why it is having none. Then instead of none, can I have a default value? Let's say company is RRRS. Instead of none, company is RRRS. Now what happens? Okay, so instead of none, I said company equal to RRRS. So case 4, company is empty. Okay, there is no company, but here there is a RRRS. Now let's run this and see. Okay, now let's run this and see. Now you can see clearly. So name Chenna. Okay, okay, you can see once now. So ChennaRRRS. Okay, let me make this as change different name, because right now RRRS it is considering as company. Now Chenna is considering as name, but I want ChennaRRRS is the name. Okay, then I will put company as, let's say, company is, let's say, IBM. Now run this and see. Now you can see. Okay, structured response, it is coming correct. Can you see this one, please? So right now what is happening? ChennaRRRS is the name. Okay, ChennaRRRS is the name, email, phone number, and the company. Right now we did not pass. If we don't pass it, then it is optional. And what is the default value? IBM. That's what it is considering. This is the biggest advantage with the tool strategy. Okay, next scenario 4. Okay, scenario 4 or case 4, or 4 is already done, 5th one. Now I will use the same one. Let's say this is the first one or second one. Let's use the second one. Okay, I'll use the prompt as like this. And it will work. But I don't pass phone number. Let's see what happens. So that means this is how I am passing. Okay, no phone number. If no phone number, let's see what happens. Let's run this. No phone number. Let's run this. Now you can see phone number become empty. Okay, phone number become empty. That's it. Like this, you can have all these structured outputs. Okay, so company there, phone number empty, and so on. Next, let's say I am not passing email ID and I just pass the name. Then I'll just put some empties like this. See what happens. Then I'll put a RRRS. Okay, RRRS, or let's say 1 2. I just pass the prompt like this. Now you can see what happens. Just execute this. Okay, scenario 6. Prompt is like this. If the prompt is like that, then you can see the structured output. So contact information, yes, that's correct. Email ID, nothing. Phone number is nothing. And whatever you are passing here, that is taking as company. Whatever you are passing it as, that is taking as company. This is about tool strategy. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Else, we are good with the tool strategy. And you can also print different combinations. Okay, let's say print. Okay, print. Okay, structured response right now, right? Structure response equal to. Then this is the okay structured response equal to. You can say response. Sorry. What happened? Control. Why it's not working? Okay, so RRRS underscore response of, okay, response of, you can specify there is a structured response in this, right? That you can print it. That you can print it and see. What happened? Okay. Okay, this one is in this. Now let's run this and see. So now you can see structured response. Okay, then you can do one more thing. You can do one more thing. You can find the structure of it. Let's run this once. Contact info as a element. Response of this one. Okay, now you can see. This is how you are getting the structured response. Okay, this is how you are getting the structure response. Or you can also do this way. Both are correct only. Structure response. Then instead of this double code, okay, instead of this double code ending here, you can say print function of this one. Then this is the value, right? Value. Okay, end the value and end the double quotes. Okay, end the value, end the double quotes. Now let's run this and see. See, both are same. So if you want like this, you can print that. If you want like this, you can print it. Both are same. I'll pass the content, that means a prompt like this. You can see the complete information. You can see the complete information. Just run this. Now you can see it is. Now I want to know what is the response type, right? So if you want to know the response type, you can say print, okay, type, that is just a message, comma, type of what? Type of my results, right? Type of this. I want to find out the type of this. If you want to find the type of this, take this. You can specify type of this one. Just run this and see. So now you can see the type is contact info. That's what we created, right? The type is contact info. That's what we created. That's about the tool strategy. If you have any question on the tool strategy, you can ask. Else we'll continue the provider strategy. Okay, so therefore tool strategy is applied for the tools. Okay, so therefore you can use this structured output and so on. So that is available in the tool calls, right? So if you go to the AI response once, okay, if you go to the AI response once and you can see, okay, so AI response, I'll just put the AI response once, and inside that AI response, and you can see tool calls, yes. There you have all the required information. There we have all the required information. This is what we says. So that's why if you go to the definition, tool strategy uses tools or functions calling to enforce the required structured data. Required structured data. That's it. That's it. Okay. Then we'll see the provider strategy. Tool strategy is done. Then we'll see the provider strategy. Okay. Coding example for provider strategy. Coding example for provider strategy. Tool strategy we understood now. Provider strategy. So I'll take the same code. Create a new cell and paste it so that we can save the time. Okay. So then what are we trying to do here? Load environment variables from this particular file. Done. Import the necessary libraries. Okay. Import the necessary libraries and initialize the model. These are all required. Initialize the model. These are all required. And base model that is required to create a structured output. And if you want optional, you can use optional. Otherwise, leave it. So in this example, I will not use optional. In this example, I will not use optional. Okay. Then, so instead of a tool strategy, I want to use provider strategy. Instead of tool strategy, I want to use provider strategy. Then the next one is define structured output model. Define structured output model for provider strategy. For provider strategy, how do I do? Let's say I'll try to create a class called calculate results. Calculate results. This is the class. Okay, calculate results, and you can say base model colon, then specify how the results should be. Okay, how the results should be. So let's say there is a expression colon, it should be a string. Then results. Okay, I want it as a float. Result, I want it as a float. Then steps, I want it as a list of string. So this is what structured output I planned. This is what the structured output I am planning. So there should be an expression, there should be a results, there should be a steps. Steps is list of strings, results is a float, and expression is a string. That is how I want it. That's it. Then you are trying to create a agent. When you try to create an agent, then you need to pass what? You try to create an agent, you need to pass what? Okay, you need to pass the provider strategy. You need to pass the provider tool strategy we just discussed. Now we need to provide the, instead of tool strategy, you need to provide the provider strategy. Okay, provider strategy. Provider strategy of what? Calculate results. Provider strategy of what? Calculate results. It is same as tool strategy, but doing for different purpose by using provider strategy. So for tool strategy also we created a structured output and pass the tool strategy. Now we are creating the structured output, passing the provider strategy. What this will do, we'll see. That's it. That's it. Now you come down, and this is like a calculation, right? So you can invoke the agent by passing the prompt. Now I'll say prompt is calculate Okay, 12 into 5 plus, okay, 24 or 23 minus 55, and show me the steps. Show me the steps. So this is how I have done. Okay, now let's execute this and see first. Is it working? It's working. And so whatever we are sending is called a prompt. That's called a user message. Sorry, human message. Now AI will analyze it. Sorry, model will analyze it. Model will analyze it or reason it or identify all the necessary things. Identify all the necessary things and respond like this. Now, if you see the AI response, model response. In the model response, this is the content and this is the steps. You can see. So this is the expression, whatever we have given, and you can see the steps. So it is suggesting like this. First, okay. First, what is the thing we have? This is the thing we have, right? So let me take this into notepad. This is the thing. So 12 into 5. So therefore it is telling first multiply 12 into 5 and you will get 60. Next, add 23 to 60, which you will get 83. Which you will get 83. Then finally subtract. Subtract 55 from 83, you will get 23. Like that, it is suggesting the steps. Like this, it is suggesting the steps and so on. Now let's see what are the tool calls. Okay, so on, so. Then this one, model name. And this is the provider strategy. This is the provider strategy used by the models, right? So therefore, model provider, you can see model provider. So if you just search with the tool, sorry. Okay, tool calls. You can see there are empty. There are no tool calls. So tool strategy will have the tool calls. But this is the model strategy. Provider strategy will not have any tool calls. That's why these are available for the. That's why if you see the definition, model strategy or provider strategy uses the models. That means models means LLMs. For what purpose? To provide the native structured output. To provide the native structured output like a JSON or whatever it is. Okay, good. So that is what it is providing. Now, next thing. That is what it is providing. That's good. Now go back to this structured response. Go back to this structured response and display it and see. That's what the AI message. Now, that's what the AI message. Now see the structured response. So you can see structured response is mapped to our structured. So this is a structured. First one is expression, results, steps. Okay, calculate response. First one is expression. See the expression. Then you can see the results and you can see the steps. Now you got it, what it is trying to do. Okay, now you can see. So the output is clearly mapped into my expected structure. The output clearly mapped to my expected structure. It's like a JSON. Need not be JSON here. Need not be JSON. But yeah, it's definitely mapped to my expected structure. First one is expression. So this is what the expression. And second one, we want results. So result is, you can see 28. And so here, model is returning what? 28 as integer. See the one more advantage, please. Why we need to use these providers? Why we need to use this provider strategy? Model is returning what? 28, which is an integer. But I am expecting float. I am expecting float. You can see I just said float. That's why it is keeping 28.0. Then what are all the steps it is performed? I want that as a list of strings. List of strings. That's why you can see steps is first multiply 12 into 5. Then 23 into 60 addition. Then finally 55 subtract from 83, which is 28. Like this you can see clear information. Like this you can see clear information. So therefore model whatever it is trying to do is map to this particular structure. You can also apply both here. You can also apply both, no problem. So now come here, you can also display the different combinations. What are the combinations? Structured response. Okay, if you want to display the structured response, this is the one, right? So you can say print, okay, structure response equal to, then RRRS response of structured response, like that you can print it. Execute it. So you are getting that structured response. So if you want the function wise, printf f, then you can say structure response equal to comma, so equal to comma, both are same only. Then you can specify that a RRRS underscore response of that structured response. And you can end it. Okay, so execute this. Both are same, you can see. Okay, both are same, you can see. This is the Python way of displaying. This is the Python way of displaying. So if you go this approach, you don't need this comma and all. Okay, you don't need this comma and all. You can just say like this. You will get a whatever we needed. So just run this one more time. Yeah. Okay, all right. Now if you want to see what is the type. Okay, if you want to see, this is what it is, right? You want to see the expression. Okay, you want to print the expression, you want to print the results, you want to print the step, because here we have three things, right? Expression, results, steps. You can also do individually. You can also print individually. So let's say, what is the expression I want to print it? Expression equal to comma. How do I print the expression? This structure dot, you can see expression. Now I want to print the expression. What is the next one? Results, steps. Okay, results equal to steps equal to, like this you can print the individual entities also. Okay, then instead of expression, this you want results, right? Results. Okay, results. This we want steps. Like this you can do it, execute it and see, you will get it. So now you can see expression, you can see clearly. Result, you can see clearly. And the steps, you can see clearly. Like this we can use provider strategy. Like this you can use provider strategy. That's it, that's it, that's it. Like this we can use the provider strategy. Like this we can use the tool strategy. Tool strategy is for tool calls, to apply in the tool calls. Then provider strategy, model uses how it is evaluating. Whatever it is evaluating, we want to capture into a structured output. Then we go with the provider strategy. That's about the tool strategy. That's about the provider strategy. Now we can see the nodes ones. We discussed the tool strategy. We discussed the provider strategy. Both are used for structured output. That is what we discussed. What is the meaning of structured output? Forcing the LLM to respond into a structure which we are expecting. It can be a JSON. It can be a pydantic. Right now it's a pydantic. So that's why if you go to the code, we can see we are taking this as a class base model of pydantic. Base model of pydantic. You can simply visualize this is like a C language structure. Okay, C language structure. That's it. Then we have two ways to get the structured output in LangChain: tool strategy, provider strategy. Now you can see tool strategy. LangChain converts into tool calls. That's what I shown you. Into the tool calls, you can see clearly. And provider strategy. Providers validations response against the schema, and it is giving as per the structure whatever we defined. Okay, provider strategy. You can see these are tool calls, provider strategy, structure, expression, all those things. That is the code basically. Okay, all right. Now come to the nodes again. And this is how the tool strategy, this is how the provider strategy, okay, and so on. Then we have seen what is the meaning of free text example, tool strategy example, and a provider strategy example. And you can see tool strategy, you can if you are a Java person, you can visualize it as a API call with a DTO. Provider strategy, you can visualize as JSON serialization. Schema is like a POJO classes in Java. Validations means like a beans. In the C language, schema is like a structure. Just now I told. You can visualize this is like a POJO. You can visualize C language structure. Java POJO C language structure. Like this, you can also compare with the equivalent Java terminologies, C language terminologies. If you are a Java guy, if you don't know Java also, you can still visualize this with the C language. In the C language, tool strategy is like a function with structures. Function with a structure. Then provider strategy is like a direct output structure. Then schema is like a structure. Validations are like a type checking. That's it. Okay, that's about this one. Now, if you want to code for this, this is how you will get the code. Now, let's say you want to find the code for this, right? You want to find the code for this. If you want to find the code for this, then what you can do? You can go here, see the nodes. Let's say this is the nodes you are getting. You want a node, you want a corresponding code for this. Take this title and search it. So if you search, you can see exactly. Then you want a free text example code. You can see free text example code. You want a tool strategy example code. So you can see tool strategy. You can search with that keywords exactly. Let's say third one, provider strategy. Search with that. Now you can see provider strategy. Like this, you can find the code. Then you can copy this code and you can execute it. It will work. Let's say I'll try to copy this code and execute it and see. Go here. I'll create a new cell. Just paste it, execute it. Okay, now you can see it is giving. So first one is what? Provider results. Okay, structured response, expression, results, steps. Okay, like this you can copy, but instead of copy, right, I would strongly recommend you type it. You type it based on the screenshot. so that you will learn, you will do typo mistakes, and you fix it, you learn a lot. That's how you should practice. If you are not having that much of time, you can also copy this code and execute it. You will get the answers, you will get the practice. So therefore, these tool strategies and provider strategies are important to make structured output as per we define. That's it. Now we have some interview questions. You can see in this documentation, there are some interview questions. You can go through this. And remember. If you remember these interview questions, then you can able to crack it easily. Let's spend a few minutes on those. So the first one is, we are writing the LangChain application, right? How to debug, how to debug issues when LangChain is not returning expected output from LLM. LLM means model. Okay, so how to debug the so the first question is, or the question is, how to debug the issues when LangChain is not returning the expected output from the models. So as I told, right, if it is not returning expected output from the model, please remember the first way is try to understand these messages, what exactly happening. Try to understand this, whether my message is going properly or not, whether AI message is having properly or not. Understand these messages first. I told and we spend enough amount of time on this. We spend enough amount of time on this. Okay, next check the prompt, how the prompt is going. Okay, and use the prompt templates so that you will not miss. Okay, so check the prompt. And second one is use prompt templates so that we don't do mistakes. Because if it is a template, you will pass always as per the need. Okay, then use verbose mode. Use verbose mode. How do I do that? You can say verbose equal to true. Verbose equal to true. We'll see this coding verbose equal to true. But yeah, use verbose equal to true. What this will do? Okay, so LangChain components. Okay, LangChain components inspect execution steps. So that means you will see more steps what is happening. You will see more steps what is happening. Next, fourth one is log the API calls. So you need to capture the API calls. That means what is the request, what is the response, all those things. You can log them so that you know what exactly. So therefore, capture LLMs, responses, request responses, logs to analyze input and output. Input, output issues. Okay, so you need to log them. Then only you will come to know. Then you need to test separately. Okay, test LLM separately. That means you can execute, test LLM separately. That means run the LLM outside of LangChain. Okay, so for example, we have platform OpenAI, right? Platform OpenAI. So here also we have the chart. See whether this is giving correct or not. Whether this is giving correct or not. Let's say, for example, I type this particular thing. Okay, so explain, okay, Python in 2 lines. I just ask this question, somehow assume that it is giving some challenge. Somehow assume that it is giving some challenge. If this is giving challenge, see if this is executed in the out of the box one here. Hit enter. We are getting the response. We are getting the response means, so at least OpenAI API is working good. OpenAI API is working good. Now come back and isolate the issues. Now come back and isolate the issues. So therefore, what I am trying to say that, okay, run the LLM outside the LangChain. So example, directly open API, platform openai.com. There also we have, from there also you can check whether it is working properly or not and analyze further. Like this, we have n number of ways. Like this, we have n number of ways. Next, we discussed about the memory, right? We discussed about the memory. Then how to handle the API failures. So there is a request responses, right? So let's say this is the program, this is the application, this is the agent. When I run this, right, agent.invoke. That means there is a call to the models. There is a call to the models. Now the question is, there is a request to the model and we are getting the response. There is a request to the model and we are getting the response. The question is how to handle, okay, rate limits or API failures in LangChain. Rate limits or API failures in LangChain. So the answer is, so if you want to reduce the failures, we discussed before retry API calls with delays like a with the delays like a time dot sleep. This we practiced before. Retry options we practiced before. Retry option we practiced before. I told there is some out of the box retry options and custom retry options. Out of the box delay retry and custom delay retry. Both we tried. So you can recap our previous sessions. Okay. Then the second one is use asynchronous execution. Use asynchronous execution. So what is the meaning of asynchronous execution? Let's say you are executing, I am executing. Okay. So let's say your execution takes 1 minute, my execution takes 1 minute. It should not be one after another. Lest your request come, let my request come. So therefore, asynchronous execution reduces the API load, which internally reduces the API failures. Then third one is monitor how to do the asynchronous. We already practiced it. Okay, so monitor API status codes. So every API call, if it is failing, right? If API call is failing, see that monitoring codes. For what reason it is failing? Is it failing because of rate limit? Is it failing because of network? Like that. We discussed this status codes also. We discussed this status codes also. Okay, next cache results. So now if when there is a fixed static response, right? When there is a static response, better to cache it so that you don't depend upon real-time calls. Store response temporarily. Store response locally, temporarily, so that you can avoid the duplicate calls, redundant calls, which reduces the rate limit, API failures, and so on. That's it. Then like this, we have many questions here. You can go through this and remember. You can go through this and remember. Because we covered most of the things. Then there is one more question, right? We already discussed it, but I just want to cover one more time. So the question is, we have something called temperature and we have something called top P. Okay, what is temperature? Okay, what is temperature? And top P in LLMs means models. What is temperature and top P in models? So for that you can take this and just see. I will take this into Paint and explain quickly. I will take this into Paint and explain quickly. It is there in the notes here. Temperature we also used as part of, we also used a lot as part of our agents creation. You can see line number 15. Okay, whenever we are initializing the model, we pass a temperature equal to 0. Temperature equal to 0 means what? Okay, randomness, reduce the randomness means more accurate. That means low temperature. That means a model plays safe. Model will not assume something. Hallucination is less. If you give this value more, let's say 1.5, 1, that means high temperature. High temperature means model plays more randomness. Okay, uses analysis. More temperature means more randomness. If you want more accurate results, put the less value. If you want some randomness, exploring, put the temperature more. This we discussed. Okay, that's about the temperature. So that's why you can see these definitions. Temperature low means model plays or model plays safe. No randomness. Temperature low means same answer like a textbook because there is no randomness. Temperature high. Temperature high means what? It will it will it will start exploring the options. Randomness. Okay, let's say you are putting temperature 1.9, 0.9. More randomness, more expressive. Uses the analysis, more randomness. It will get the information here and there based on the randomness. That's called high temperature, low temperature. Then what is top P? Okay, so what is top P? You can see here, please. Let's say top P decides next token probabilities. Top P decides next token probabilities. For example, these are the tokens we have and these are the probabilities we have. Next token probability. Let's say my sentence is like this here. My sentence is like this. Come to a place dash time. Come to a place. Come to a place this time. Come to a place. Come to a place this time. So therefore, come to is the next. A is the next. Place is the next. This is the next. Time is the next. So therefore, how it is identifying the next probability token? Okay, how it is identify the next probability token? Okay, so let's say internally we have some tokens, the, a, this, others, and these are the probabilities. Assume that these are the calculated probabilities. If these are the calculated probabilities, let's see how that top P is helping. Okay, so top P selects dynamically subset of tokens whose cumulative probability is greater than or equal to P. That's the definition of top P. What is the definition of top P? Dynamically, okay, selects dynamic subset of tokens. Select dynamic subset of tokens whose cumulative probability greater than or equal to P. What does that mean? We'll see example. Let's say there is a top P 6. Sorry, top P is 0.6. If top P is 0.6, what does that mean? So it will consider the with A. Why? Because the is 0.45, A is 0.25. Okay, 0.45, 0.25. Greater than or equal to P, right? Greater than or equal to P. So therefore, the with A will be done. The with this will not be done because it's a less probability. Now let's say top P 0.9. 0.9 means what? Let's say the 0.45, A 0.25, this 0.15. Now if I sum this cumulative probabilities. Okay, so then the A this is how it differs. So therefore top P decides how many paths it is allowed to explore. How many paths it is allowed to explore. So that means the possibility of the next token possibilities. That's about the top P. That's about the temperature, and we used the temperature a lot as part of our coding also to reduce the randomness. If you want randomness, put more value. If you want less randomness, put the low value, which is a 0. 0 is a safe. 0 is like a fixed answer. Every time same answer. Every time same answer. Fixed answer. It's like a textbook answer. Randomness more means it's like a dynamic answer, exploration answer. Okay, randomness answer, and so on. Like this, we have coded all those things and so on. Okay, now if you see the nodes, this is what the nodes for the tool strategy and provider strategy and free text tool strategy, provider strategy. And we have some interview questions. You can just look at this and remember. Okay, you can look at this and remember. Okay, so what is LangChain expression language and how it is used? Okay, so we use this terminology as part of chains. Okay, next, how to design a enterprise grade LangChain system. So enterprise grade LangChain system will have all the different possibilities like chains, RAG, observability, prompt message, okay, security, token optimization, all these things. We understood okay, prompt governance means you need to give the proper promptings. Chains we understood. RAG we'll understand in coming days, and so on. Then what is the advantage of having metadata in embeddings? Embeddings will cover as part of the RAG. So we have a big concept called RAG. Embeddings will be covered as part of the RAG. Okay. Like this, we have a bunch of the question answers. Please start remembering these question answers for easy interview answering. That's all for today. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Else, we are good for today, and we'll catch up in the next session. Thank you.